Hello everyone, my dear friends. I'm Huyền, and I'm truly delighted to welcome you back to my channel. First, I wish you all, from the bottom of my heart, moments filled with joy, peace, and happiness, and I hope you'll join me in today's story. I've always dreamed that my stories aren't just words, but rays of positive energy capable of reaching you. Though life may seem tough at times, and we sometimes go through harsh experiences, there's always a moment where someone who truly loves and protects us appears. Sometimes, life feels like a path full of obstacles, and some days we feel like we can't go on. But if we hold on to faith and hope, light will shine in the end. In my case, that light has a name, and it's the man who entered my life to give me and my son sincere, unconditional love. After all these hardships, I realized that happiness doesn't lie in perfection, but in sharing every step with someone who's truly willing to walk with you, hold your hand, and never abandon you. I'm certain you'll find that special person too. Thank you for always being here, and now I invite you to continue this new part of my story. Last night, despite the storms and sudden rains, we didn't stop working. The desire to finish the house's roof was stronger than the fatigue, and the palm leaves were placed one after another in their spots. When we took our final break, I sat on the porch with Karma. The afternoon sun shone brightly on the garden, and the remaining water droplets on the leaves sparkled like tiny crystals. In that moment, I realized how fortunate I am to have so many generous friends by my side. I vividly remember how Y arrived with his cart full of palm leaves, still sweating. After unloading the cart, he sat beside me. We sat in silence for a moment, contemplating the new roof, proud of what we had accomplished together. Then he spoke. His voice was calm and deep, yet full of sincerity. His words were simple and spontaneous, but they remained etched in my heart. They weren't empty promises, but a reflection of everything he felt, his desire to be by my side no matter the difficulties. Even today, whenever I think of him, my heart beats strongly. After all these experiences, I finally found someone I truly trust. It's no longer just a roof protecting us, but a home, a shelter full of love and kindness, certain that as long as we're together, no storm will bring me down. That day, the dawn didn't creep through the fog until I woke up. A rooster's crow in the distance took firm steps. Without wasting time, he headed to his friend's house to carry the new palm leaves needed to finish the roof we worked so hard to start. For him, it wasn't just work, it was a promise of a shared future. After a while, he returned. On his cart was a huge bundle of fresh green leaves, their vibrant natural scent wafting through the air. We began unloading them together, one by one, until we placed them under the porch. The effort was almost overwhelming, but our sense of building something special together made every movement feel light. We sat to rest under the house's roof, and I couldn't help but look at him with a mix of gratitude and affection. I said quietly, "Why didn't you wait for me to go together?" He smiled, sweat still dripping on his forehead. "Don't worry, I'm fine. I slept alone at my house last night and faced some sleep troubles." I frowned. "Why?" "Because you care about me and my son, and moving between your house and mine, I thought you were used to it by now." He lowered his gaze, sighed deeply, and answered with a sincerity that touched me. "I couldn't sleep because all I could think about was the dawn rising quickly so I could help you. Also, the sky was cloudy. It felt like a storm was warning us, and I was worried. You and your son are here in a house that hasn't been completed yet." I couldn't stay calm. "I want everything to be ready as soon as possible so I can move here with you." My face flushed. I lowered my voice, almost stumbling over my words. "But we're not married yet. If people saw, they'd surely talk. I'd rather you help me step by step. When the house is ready, we'll think about marriage, and then you can stay here with dignity." He looked at me steadily, his eyes filled with calm and determination. "You're right. Marriage is a lifelong commitment, and I want it to be official and proper. I want to be with you as soon as possible, but with everything in order." "I understand," I whispered, my heart pounding. Then, as if remembering something important, he continued, "I called Tai yesterday and asked her to speed up the divorce proceedings." My eyes widened in shock, and a smile spread across my lips. "I'd been separated from my ex-husband for a long time. All I need is you. When you're ready, we can move forward together without hiding." He took my hand and squeezed it tightly. "It'll be like that. I want to clarify everything so no one can judge us. But what matters is what you and I feel." I felt an overwhelming emotion. Yes, in the end, we live for ourselves, not for them, but doing it honestly and respectfully will bring us peace too. He smiled and nodded gently. I didn't need more words. In that moment, I leaned on his shoulder, seeking the refuge only he could provide. The breeze stirred the piled palm leaves, and the sun began to warm the courtyard. I wished in silence that things would go as planned, and that every obstacle would fade away. And as I let myself sink into the warmth of his presence, I realized that by his side, no rumor, no judgment, no storm could steal the happiness we'd wished for so long. As I gazed at the starry sky, I wandered in my thoughts, and in that silence, I thought that perhaps this was all the work of fate. It was paradise itself that allowed me to meet Y, the man who gave me sincere love, something I'd never experienced before. My past was full of pain. My ex-husband didn't leave me with care and protection, only deep wounds, broken hopes, and days filled with sadness. There was a time I thought I'd never believe in love again, that my heart wouldn't have the strength to open up once more. But when I least expected it, Y appeared like an unexpected gift in the midst of my darkness. He had suffered too. His ex-wife never appreciated how much he sacrificed for her. She belittled him because of his humble origins and left him for another. Yet, even with a wounded heart, Y never stopped being a noble, honest, and kind man. Perhaps those scars united us. We both knew loneliness and betrayal, and in that similarity, our souls found comfort. Our relationship doesn't seem like a coincidence. It's an unbreakable bond, a shared destiny that brought us together when we needed it most. With him, I understood that true love isn't measured by luxury or empty promises. It exists in the warmth of a glance, on the steady shoulder where I can rest when I feel fragile, in those simple words that give me hope when everything seems to collapse. And as I gaze at the stars, I thank fate in silence for bringing us together. Because in this vast world among millions of people, finding someone who truly loves you, shares your pain, and walks with you through every storm, that's not a coincidence, it's a miracle. In that silence under the starry sky, I understood that all the painful days I lived weren't in vain. They were sad notes in the melody of my life, necessary until this moment of happiness arrived, so I could appreciate it with all my heart. I carry a scar on my soul. I've been betrayed. At some point, we thought happiness was unattainable, that true love only existed in fairy tales. Yet, fate brought us together in a moment we didn't expect. Two wounded hearts didn't just meet, they healed each other. Isn't that a miracle? When I look into his eyes, I see an unshakable certainty, a silent promise that no matter the trials, he'll always be by my side, and by my son's side. I know life will continue to place obstacles in our path, and there will be judgmental looks and malicious comments, but that no longer scares me because I'm not alone anymore. By my side is a man who chose to be my refuge and my strength. The breeze whispered through the leaves, the stars shone like comets, and I repeated to myself, I've finally smiled at life. And in that moment, I felt that the future, no matter how uncertain, no longer scares me. Because as long as I walk beside Y, as long as our hands remain intertwined, no storm can destroy what we're building. Since that night, I believe firmly that our path doesn't end here. It will be long, with days of light and days of darkness, but we'll walk together until we reach the end, where the true peace of home and the eternal embrace of sincere love await us.